Oh, what is up, you guys? My name is StarForceOne, and welcome back to Reaction Time Installment 42. I'd actually look over at that because I almost said 41. Anyway, this episode we're going to the only reasonable recommendation that I've seen this month. You guys have been a little slacking with your videos, with your ideas lately. It's almost like you guys don't want to see me do reaction videos anymore, which honestly for me that'd be fine. But a lot of you guys seem to like it, so I figure I'll keep the series going, even if I gotta hunt stuff down myself. So this is from the Car Star. He asked me to check out a couple of his videos that he had just recently uploaded. This was from January 26th, 2022, so I figured why not. Apparently he had a little problem, so we're going to find out. There's actually 2 videos because they're short, and then I'm going to roll into a 8-minute video after that. So you're getting 3 videos for the price of 1 on this one. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, is it literally just going to be just that? Okay, so I must reload all my vids, so sorry, but I have to for getting violence in my vids, so I must remake and add warnings so I don't get sued by adults. You're not going to get sued by adults. Yeah, you're going to get flagged by the algorithm, and you're not going to be able to monetize when you get that far, but you're not going to get sued for violence. And then after this, I think he did a new intro. Better than ever. See what you got there, buddy boo. Okay, I'm gonna have to start that over because it's being a little laggy. Okay. Warning, and yes, the music, it's copyright. May sow violence and rude behavior and inappropriate language. P.S. doing this so I don't get sued. Yay. Again, who told you you're going to get sued? You're not going to get sued. There's so many different YouTubers who don't put a violence warning on their deal, and they're not getting sued. You're not going to get sued for violence. You'll get it to where you might get a strike or something like that if you do too much, and depending on the violence, because one of my videos got rated 18 plus for violence, and guess which video it was? It was Mortal Kombat. Obviously it's got violence. It's a fighting game. But yeah, and the music is always going to get copyright claimed if it's copywritten. That's why you need to look for royalty free stuff to be able to do that. Some stuff like my outro is royalty free as long as I add the thing at the bottom of the video, which is or at the description of the video, giving credit to the person who made it. So that's what I do. I mean, it's just, you just gotta keep close eye on stuff like that. So that's not too bad though, but thanks for saying it's copywritten, so that way this video is gonna get claimed. But of course, these are reaction videos. Most of them get claimed anyway. I don't care as long as they don't give me a strike. I don't really give a damn. So we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one's a little longer, so it'll have to take a little bit to load. So I shall see you guys in just a second. Car Star, good new intro. I like the effect, even though it made me think that it froze my computer for a second. There it goes. Yeah, that's not too bad. Cool shades. Wait a minute. You're literally... That's clever. That's really clever. The shades, the stars, the space, and red car. That's really nice. But yeah, I'll see you guys in just a second when I boot up the next one. So, Car Star, good job on your new intro. Sorry you have to do what you're doing. I don't know who said someone's going to sue you for doing it. But, you know, cover your bases just to be on the safe side. So, good job on that. I'll see you guys in just 1 second. Okay, you guys, we're back to another video. This is actually another Star Wars video because I like Star Wars. And this is from StarForceOne, I believe. Yeah, StarForceOne. The sad story of the Jedi who killed himself because of Darth Vader. Star Wars. It looked really interesting. It looks like it comes a lot from the comics. I didn't read a lot of the comics. I watched the movies back in the day, and I love some of the newer movies. I don't care what they say. I like the prequel and the original, and the sequel. I like them all. They're all really good to me. But I like space, and I like sci-fi stuff, and I love lightsabers and the idea of using the Force, which is technically telekinesis and all that cool stuff. So we're going to jump over to Reaction Cam, and here we go.
After the Clone Wars came to an end and the Jedi Order was taken out by their own clone troopers during Order 66, a few very small pockets of Jedi survivors held hope that one day they would be able to restore the former glory of their order and restore light to the galaxy. One man, however, had sworn his new life to ensure that the Jedi would never rise again, and that darkness would remain Darth Vader. When Vader discovered a Jedi Master had survived with a group of Padawans on a remote, low-profile space station, he traveled there and chillingly tried to turn the Master to the dark side and betray his young Padawans. So let's break down how Darth Vader coldly lured a Jedi survivor to the dark side and pushed him too far. The story begins on a sparse, dusty station deep in the Outer Rim, where a Jedi Master named Jira is heaving and breathing heavily, doing everything in his power to defend his group of Jedi Padawans. After surviving the Jedi Purge, this Master graciously took any youngling, Padawan or fellow Master he could find and brought them together to protect them. Unfortunately, however, his run of luck had just come to an end. Imperial troopers have entered his hidden base, and no matter how many he is able to repel, failure is sadly on its way. There are just too many troopers. As the bodies of his fallen students dot the landscape around him, burning with the smoke of blaster bolts, he tells himself that this is his duty. No matter what happens, he will do anything for their safety. As the brave Jedi Master holds his glowing blue lightsaber above the dozens of stormtroopers he has managed to kill, he is growing too tired to continue fighting much longer. Jira immediately calls over his comms unit to the base commander that he's been working with, warning him that although he's managed to hold the stormtroopers off for now, the remaining Padawans need to get to the escape ship immediately or face certain death. In response, all he hears is a call for him to get back to the southern airlock. While traveling towards the airlock, the brave Jedi Master senses that the stormtroopers aren't his only problem anymore. The Empire has dispatched Lord Vader himself to the scene with the goal of wiping the Jedi from the face of the galaxy. In an absolutely monstrous display of skill and power, Jira unleashes his blue lightsaber, swinging and lunging in every direction to kill any stormtrooper who gets in his way, including taking their heads off. The Master then continues slicing through the stormtroopers with fury before calling out to the base commander, warning him that there are simply too many. At this point, Jira is willing to give his life for the remaining Padawans on the station. As he moves deeper into the station, Jira tells the base commander that he should have warned him that the stormtroopers had arrived, and in response the commander gives a very concerning response, telling the Jedi that they must have moved. As the Master kneels down to inspect the bodies of his dead Padawans and defenders, he asks the commander, "You are manning the security cams, yes?" The commander responds with a simple yes. This infuriates the Jedi Master, leading him to ask, "So why were these men shot in the back? You could have warned them." At this point, however, none of that mattered anymore. The pure embodiment of cold darkness had arrived and had brought his blood-red blade with him. Jira was forced to duck and weave in an instant, with Vader's red blade coming for his head. While jumping and evading, the Master recounted his Jedi teachings, which say that fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to... He is cut off before he can finish by Darth Vader, who finishes the sentence by telling him that it leads to suffering. Vader is obviously speaking from experience. That little bit of Anakin under the suit is coming out. As Vader faces down the Jedi menacingly, they immediately lock blades, swinging and jabbing at each other in a fight of light versus darkness. Jira continues blocking the red lightsaber of Vader, realizing in his mind that Vader is so much stronger, more ruthless, and more relentless than himself. He can feel his own calmness giving way to a deep panic, and Vader can immediately sense this fear inside of Jira, and feels it turning towards hate. The dark side is closing in on this Jedi. Vader then slams the Jedi Master into a nearby wall with immense force, before walking over to him and demanding that he join the dark side. He will let this Jedi live, but on the condition that he fills himself with darkness and joins Vader. Jira of course refuses this offer outright, but inside himself he knows that he is feeling the temptation. He knows that Vader cannot be beaten, so why die now, never knowing if the sacrifice would be worth something. He believes that if he accepts this offer from the Dark Lord, there might be some chance that his Padawans will be spared. As the two continue their fierce battle, Jira calls out to Vader, warning him that it doesn't matter what happens now, whether he lives or dies, he will fight to the death to save his Jedi students. The Jedi and Sith continue locking their blades with fury until Vader eventually gets the upper hand and knocks Jira to the ground, leaving his lightsaber melting through a nearby wall, making him completely defenseless. The fight is lost. Darth Vader warns the downed Jedi that this fight is now over, and that he doesn't have to die. His master Darth Sidious has a use for every Darksider, whether that be as an Inquisitor or an Acolyte. He wants to purge the light from the galaxy. Vader breathes heavily and warns the Master that if he embraces the dark side, he will spare the young Jedi Padawans. With this option on the table, Jira stares death in the face. He has to take this option if it means his Padawans will survive and live to see another day. Despite already making up his mind in his head, he calls out to Vader, telling him that he must be lying. With the darkness seething inside of him, he justifies joining Vader by saying that if he manages to stay alive, maybe he can fight off the dark side from within. Of course, he knows that this will never be the case. Vader responds to him by saying that he has no use for lying, and that if he surrenders to the dark side now, he will withdraw his troops and keep the Padawans alive. In a final cry of pain with Vader's red blade right at his throat, Jira demands that Vader swear to keep his promise, and if he does, Jira will join him in the darkness. Vader then immediately retracts his lightsaber and says that he swears it. The two then shake hands and Jira agrees to join Vader's side. Jira has just betrayed all of his teachings, all of his wisdom, and all of his experience to save his young Padawans. As he stands up, Vader tells him to come over to the monitoring screens to witness him holding up his end of the bargain. Jira, however, can feel the cold despair settle into his bones. He knows that he will never escape the fear and anger of the dark side, but as he watches his Padawans jet off in the escape ship, he tells himself that somehow, in some way, it was worth the sacrifice. Following this, the Jedi Master receives a call on his comms device from the station commander, demanding that he be able to speak with Lord Vader. As he hands the comms unit to Vader, he hears a chilling sentence come out of Vader's mask. "Commander, are the explosives you set on the escape vessel charged?" "Yes, Lord Vader." A chill goes through the body of the Jedi Master, realizing that Vader and even his commander has just betrayed him in the worst possible way. He then rages with anger, telling Vader that they swore to serve each other. Without hesitation, however, Vader orders the commander to proceed with the explosives and ignite the charges. Vader then tells the weeping Jedi that his base commander swore allegiance to Vader earlier on, once he saw that they were already doomed to fail, and unlike the Master Jedi, he put no price on his service. Which is also how Vader was able to ambush the Jedi with such ease. Finally, Vader breaks off his promise by saying that it meant nothing against the duty to his master. Moments later, Jira's body clenches with darkness as he sees the escape ship with all of his Padawans on board explode into a huge yellow fireball of molten hot metal and smoke. He gave himself to the darkness for nothing. He broke his faith and his duty for absolutely nothing. He was betrayed just like that. Completely resigned to his fate, Jira demands to know why Vader bothered making that fake deal if he just wanted the Padawans dead, to which the Dark Lord responds that it was easier this way. His master Sidious prefers to possess rather than to destroy, and because Jira served only to save his students, that is impure and unworthy in the eyes of Palpatine. As Vader walks off into the darkness of the station corridors, he tells Jira that he has more than killed him, he has totally broken him and left him as an empty shell. In Vader's final act, he says that when he leaves here, he will serve only his master. His duty is to serve Palpatine no matter what, the only pure form of service, not the impure goals of the Jedi. As the Jedi Master reflects on his mistakes, he knows he has failed his Padawans in the worst possible way. Vader and Palpatine don't need his service. His duty should have remained only to the Jedi children and not to anyone else. Finally, realizing that he has absolutely nothing left in this galaxy, no duty, no goal, he is finished. He lifts the hilt of his lightsaber up to his cold chest and takes one final breath. With the weight of his failure crushing him and the realization that he has failed, he ignites the glowing blue blade and impales his heart. He will embrace his failure and serve no longer. And that is the end of Jira's tragic tale. The man who lived only to serve his Padawans, betrayed that duty, and gave it to the Dark Lord. All for nothing. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.
That was heavy, dudes and dudettes. That was trippy. That was cool. Vader, you do-bag. I cannot believe you did that. Well, I can, because it's freaking Darth Vader, and he kind of turned into a douchebag. Hey, stop. Yeah, Vader kind of, Anakin kind of became a dick there because of all the hate and fear from the dark side being twisted and thrown into the abyss of darkness and evil. But still, that was really cool. Did you guys learn anything interesting? I know I did, because I knew nothing about half of that. But of course, I didn't read the comics. If I read the comics a little bit better, I might know some more. Like, I see some things pop up on my Google feed about the Star Wars comics, and I'm like, oh, that seems pretty interesting. Maybe I should start reading those. But that is unfortunately going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. You can always check out Carstar or the StarForceOne down in the description down below. If you guys want to see any of the other stuff, feel free to do so. So, all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, and peace out. What's up?